Family and friends are remembering the life of a man who played a big role in Wilmington's history.
Willie Earl Vereen, one of the members of a group known as the Wilmington Ten, passed away over the weekend. WECT's Ava Bringor joins us now with more details on Vereen's legacy. Ava, you learned about that legacy through someone that knew him very well.
Hey, that's right, Fran. I had the honor of speaking with Dr. Benjamin Chavis today, a member of the Wilmington Ten and a civil rights activist. He reflected back on his decades-long friendship with Vereen and how the pair changed Wilmington's history forever. The year was 1971, and racial tensions were high. New Hanover County schools were ordered to integrate just 2 years prior, closing Wilmington's African-American high school and destabilizing the black community. Ben Chavis was sent to Wilmington to lead a peaceful boycott on that decision.
This was their first movement. This was their first march. And they were very enthusiastic.
That's when he first met Willie Earl Vereen.
The thing I will always remember about Willie Earl Vereen, not only was his commitment to civil rights, but he did it so enthusiastically.
However, that enthusiasm was met with violence and riots on city streets. In the chaos, Chavis, Vereen, and 8 others, now known as the Wilmington Ten, were arrested and wrongfully convicted of firebombing a white-owned grocery store, spending nearly a decade in prison before their convictions were reversed in the 80s. Chavis says after the hardship and trauma, he and Vereen were bonded for life.
We not only bonded, but we became brothers. We were all political prisoners.
Chavis reflects back on their convictions as the stepping stones to justice and equality in Wilmington schools today.
I think the school system in Wilmington, Auckland has benefited as a result of the sacrifices and the commitment of people like Willie Earl Vereen and the other members of the Wilmington Ten.
He says Vereen's commitment and the price he paid for it should be remembered forever.
It's one thing to be a witness to something. Willie was more than a witness. He was an activist. And because of his activism, North Carolina, New Hanover County, and Wilmington are better places.
Reflecting not on the pain of the past, but Vereen's life and legacy. Was very much a life well lived. Vereen died over the weekend while in hospice care. His family says he was diagnosed with liver cancer about 2 months ago. He was 70. A memorial service for Vereen will take place at noon tomorrow at the Temple of Truth, Light, and Life on Kent Street. Those details are on this story on our website. Fran?
All right, a sad loss for so many. Thanks so much, Ava.